Oh man, this has a lot of Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fans seriously on edge right now. It looks like Caitlin Clark is dealing with some kind of injury situation. Now, how serious is it? Nobody fully knows yet. And I'm not here to scare anyone or exaggerate things. But there's a very real, very specific kind of fear that hits a franchise when everything, literally $1 billion future, depends on one player staying healthy. And for the Indiana Fever, and millions of fans around the world, that fear just came rushing back in a big way. Take a second and really think about what we've watched over the past 10 days. Caitlin Clark finally returned after a brutal 9-month injury layoff. The entire basketball world was watching closely. In her first game back against the New York Liberty, she went just 2 for 10. That wasn't shocking, that was rushed. That was expected. A player just trying to find rhythm again. Then came Game 2 against the Dallas Wings, and everything changed. She exploded for 21 points on 4 of 6 shooting. It was easily her best preseason performance. The shot looked clean, the confidence was back, everything felt right. Fans were finally starting to relax. And then, right in the middle of that momentum, everything flipped. A defender stepped under her landing space on a three-point attempt. Clark came crashing down hard. She immediately grabbed her knee, stayed down, then limped to the bench. The entire arena went silent. And just like that, the fear came back. For the second time in less than a year, Fever fans were watching the most important player in women's basketball lying on the floor in pain. That feeling. It was straight déjà vu. Now, to be fair, Clark spoke after the game and said she just landed hard on her kneecap. She said she feels fine. The team quickly removed her from the injury report just 2 days later. And then she played again, this time against the Nigerian national team. She logged about 13 minutes, scored 12 points on 75% shooting, and looked completely normal. No limp. No hesitation. No visible issue. But here's the thing, none of that is enough to calm people down. Because this is Caitlin Clark. And with everything that happened last year, even a small scare feels massive. The real question right now isn't, is she okay today? It's, can her body survive a full 44-game season? Let's break down why fans are actually justified in being worried. Look at the timeline. First red flag, 2025 preseason. A leg issue that forced the team to manage her workload early. Second, June 2025. A quadriceps strain that cost her games and limited her explosiveness. Third, July 2025. The worst-case scenario. A serious groin injury that ended her season after just 13 games. She missed 31 games. 31. And now, fourth, this latest knee scare in preseason 2026. That's 4 injury situations in just 14 months. That's not random anymore. That's a pattern. And no positive press conference or clean injury report is going to erase that from fans' minds. Now here's where it gets more interesting, and honestly more concerning. Most media outlets are treating these as separate incidents. But they're not. Her 2025 injuries. Those were soft tissue injuries, quad, groin, lower body strain. That's not bad luck. That's wear and tear. That's what happens when a player absorbs constant physical punishment. And make no mistake, Clark is the most targeted player in the league. Defenders don't just guard her, they go at her. Grabbing, bumping, holding, hitting through screens. She takes more contact in one game than most guards take in weeks. And over time, the body starts to break down. Now this recent knee incident. That's different. That's an impact injury, a hard fall on the kneecap. Painful in the moment, but usually not long-term serious. And her quick return supports that. But again, that's not what people are worried about. They're worried about the bigger picture. For injury events in 14 months, heading into a long, physical season where every defense is targeting her. That's the concern. And it doesn't help that the Fever roster itself is dealing with injuries. Lexi Hull has been out with a hamstring issue. Aaliyah Boston has been limited recovering from her own leg injury. Kelsey Mitchell is carrying a heavy load in the backcourt. This team doesn't have the depth to survive without Clark. We already saw it. In that same Dallas game, once Clark went to the bench, everything fell apart. The team shot just 37% and lost by 15, at home. Even with her scoring 21 in limited minutes. That tells you everything. Now credit to the coaching staff, they are trying to manage this. Head coach Stephanie White has been very cautious with her minutes. Clark played under 16 minutes in one game and under 13 in another. That's intentional. They're trying to protect her for the long haul. Plus, her efficiency is improving. She doesn't need to play 35+ minutes to dominate anymore. That helps reduce physical strain. And even officiating changes in the league are starting to limit excessive contact, which could be huge for her durability. But still, the fear isn't going anywhere. Not after last season. Not after that pattern. And definitely not with a full 44-game schedule coming up. Every time she hits the floor, every time she grabs her leg, fans are going to panic. That's just the reality now. Opening night is coming up fast against the Dallas Wings. And all eyes won't just be on her performance. They'll be on her health. Because at this point, the Fever season, and honestly a big part of the league's momentum, depends on one thing. Caitlin Clark staying on the court. And right now, that feels like a very fragile bet. If this happens again, the season might be over before it really begins. This is WNBA coverage at its realest. Drop your thoughts below. Are you worried about Clark's long-term health, or do you think she makes it through the full season? And don't blink, because this season is about to get intense.